Welcome, folks. Roth here. I meant to hop on a little sooner, but got busy dinner day, so we're on late. About 10 p.m. right now, as it says on the desktop there. Let me see if you can swap to just the app only. It's the image of the Grinch drawing that we finished last night, so I'm gonna be working on this. I may have to import that image and copy it over to the new folder. I've got Vegas Pro open. We're going to be using this to edit our videos. This is what I use most of the time. Well, pretty much all the time. There you go, it's in view. I don't know if I should keep that bottom part. The task bar or whatnot. But this is fine, I think. The only thing is it doesn't show the video preview. So if I swap back to the monitor view, it shows this little box here, which is the video preview. I don't think it shows menus when I go to File, click File or Edit or whatever. I don't think it shows the menus unless I swap it to this monitor view, which captures the full screen. Let me check again. I feel like the same goes for Photoshop or whatever else. Yeah, it doesn't show the pop-up menu, so let me swap back to this and I'll just import the files, unless I can browse them. Get the turtles. Hold on, I do have the folder open, so let me see if I can just input from here. There we go. So I'll just drag. I got the two videos downloaded. These are the two sessions that I spent drawing the Grinch drawing. So I'm gonna drag this over. I feel like, wait, hold up. I know I have a template that I have set. I feel like I could open that. Yeah. Yeah, it's not the outro one, it's the main one I use. So let's open that. So this is the template that I made that I use for my time-lapse videos. And it pretty much just have the drawn in scribblet text all, presetted it already. And I feel like I could change the font for it because it seems to keep the pixelated style for one of the starting texts. No, actually that's the other template. I'm trying to think now. But this one has the time code, which is what I try to embed in each of my time-lapse videos. And for folks who haven't seen any of the time-lapse videos, they're on YouTube, and I'm starting to put them up on TikTok as well. There's the link to the YouTube if you want to find it. You pretty much just look up my username on YouTube and you'll find it. Alright, so this layer here, picture in picture, is the time code set to its own layer. And let me see if I can drag those videos back in. What I was thinking of doing earlier was I wanted to get the entire video, but then also editing the video. Like I want to crop out the part where I go about my Nintendo year in review, because when I started that stream, I brought out a website to check the Nintendo Switch year in review, which we saw that Monster Hunter Rise was my top most played. I think it was like about 30, like half hour of that footage, so I might want to crop that out. So I'm gonna scrub through this and see if we can find the start of the drawing. It's somewhere around here, about half hour in. So I'm gonna scroll through. Right there, Scribblet. Open up Scribblet. And so what I do, I press the S button to cut it. And then I'll drag the video over. So the audio for the original videos, the original video files aren't important, which is why I press the cancel button. And then once the file is in, the the timeline, this is called the timeline. You can just right click here. This is the layer for the audio that's attached to this video. And the audio for this video is not important, so because we can be scrunching up the video to make shorter. So what I'm gonna do is right click there. I don't know if the menu pops up. Let me see. Yeah, so it does pop up. And I'm just gonna delete that track. There you go. You know, it asks for a confirmation too, so that's pretty neat. I think an older version of this software, they don't have that dialogue. Alright, so I'm gonna scroll through until we get to the canvas. Somewhere right there. So if you notice the preview window, let me resize this so you can actually view it. So this is a preview of how the video is going to end up, at least for this template or this project so far. You have this layer here, which is the time lapse, or the time code, I mean. And as I scroll through, that is like the the actual time that's being recorded. So I want to start from where I have the canvas open, from the get-go, which is why I deleted the Nintendo Year in Review portion out, because that was like a different section before I started drawing. So then you see the time moves along with the video. So I'm gonna shrink it back and shrink down the timeline so you can get a more overview of it. So as you progress through the timeline, you see the numbers start to rise as time goes. And on the timeline itself, it also shows the time there for the length of the project. So this session ended up being like about 2.5 hours, almost 3. Yeah, about 2:45, 2:46-ish. So, and then I'm gonna go towards the end here where I have the thanks for playing. That's when I ended the stream. So I'm gonna cut this portion out. It's also useful to zoom in on the timeline and try to pinpoint which frame. And I'll just use the arrow keys on the keyboard to scroll through. Oh, somewhere around right there. The time code actually helps too, so you can tell which, where, when. So somewhere over here, make sure this track or layer is selected, and I'll press S again. Sometimes if you have multiple items or multiple tracks selected, it will cut or split the video or the files for that layer too. So we'll make sure you're only selecting one track or one layer, and then you can just delete this, or just pressing the delete key. I like using the shortcut or the keys on the keyboard to to do all the shortcuts. And then now I'm going to drag the second video in. Let me shrink this preview again. So this will normally be on the top corner here if I'm just using the single monitor. There have been times when I would use my second monitor to have just this preview window, and this would enlarge and fill up that entire window. But most of the past few years it's been, you know, just minimizing it, not minimizing, but like shrinking it to the top corner here. But yeah, it's been a while since I've last streamed myself doing some video editing. I mostly do this pretty much off of stream in the background, so this is sort of like a behind the scenes sort of thing. Let's see. Yeah, I think the last one was like a karaoke video, which is currently up on YouTube, but it was somewhere around 2019, like towards the end of 2019. And that particular video I premiered on Twitch Sings as a self-made karaoke video. Alright, so I'm gonna drag the second one in, and you see how it starts to load, which is building the peaks for the audio, so I'm just gonna cancel that, and then I'll delete this audio layer, so you don't need it. So now we have another track for the part 2 of the drawing. This was last night's stream, so it didn't take long for me to download them. I made sure to do them early in the day today to have them prepared for this stream session. Normally Thursdays would be Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, but today I decided to maybe broadcast myself doing some editing. So here's me looking through the art contest submissions. Oh, by the way, so the submission this was the drawing that I submitted, which is the Grinch one. And last night we had trouble trying to get the image uploaded through the Scribblet app, and it turns out that I was 100 servers max. I hit the 100 servers max of Discord servers, and you need to have an empty slot for Discord servers to be able to upload an image through the Scribblet app. Yeah. Or at least to submit to the art contest. So maybe past times that I tried submitting, it kept giving me that error, like failed to, you know, submit to the art contest. And it's because it requires a Discord confirmation to make sure that you're in the official Scribblet server. Then for some reason it saw that I hit the max number of servers joined, and it's been like a year after, and now we finally found what the reason is. So one of the developers contacted me when I mentioned it, and yeah, that was the answer. So now we know. But the time limit to the end, what's the word? The end date or end time to submit a drawing for the art contest is over, and so I can't leave a Discord server and then try to submit an image. So I'll probably have to, you know, try it again next time. I'll have to remember to, you know, to make room for Discord servers before I submit a drawing, which is so strange because you're already in the official server, and then, you know, a thing like that happens, so it's weird. Alright, so I think this footage picks back up somewhere around here. So about 3:02, and the time code is still running, so no matter how long the project, or it goes by however long the project will be. So I want to make sure that everything is all unedited, or at least just determining the drawing time only, and not just me just like browsing around Scribblet and stuff. So like all this menu stuff, I try to cut out. So I'll just get straight to where I continue with the Grinch drawing. So like, yeah, somewhere around here. Yeah, last night I was trying to figure out where to place the previous drawings. So then I just ended up putting it in the same spot as I had before. So somewhere around right here when I start to select or find the green color again. So I'll split it somewhere here. Delete that middle part and then drag this back. So if I zoom in to this part here, I like to use the mouse wheel and then just go by there. But you also got to click the I forgot what this is called, but wherever this lands, that's where it starts to play. So I push play now, it starts to play from there. You can pause, stop, whatever. But depending on the location of this thing, that little bar, I don't know if it shows up on screen. It seems like it's a little bit small to show up on screen. But you can use the mouse wheel to zoom in or zoom out, and oh yeah, now it starts to blink. I guess for some people they can't really see that line, so it's neat that they make it so that it blinks, so you know where it is. So let's make sure that there's no gap in between, that they both, it's a seamless transition. So I'm gonna go back and forth using the arrow keys, and it seems just about right. Like how the zombie drawing was in the slideshow, the previous drawings, and then it slides to the curvy one. So it's not as smooth, but when you think of the overall picture, that this whole time lapse is going to be really quick, it'll look seamless. It'll look like, because we don't see that, browsing through the Scribblet menus and stuff, so it'll be seamless. You wouldn't know that it's going to be a two-part video. Oh, speaking of, I just remembered, I do have some of the previous time-lapse videos still on the hard drives, and I can set it to like a slideshow to maybe showcase on the corners or something. So I could probably do that. Let me see if I can get any of them in view. Okay, so there's the text. There you go. Oh, there's one of the drawings now. I'm gonna put a bunch of videos here. These are the past time-lapse videos that I did. Let me move this around. Maybe I should put them at the bottom here. I don't know. So you can find a good location for these. Hey there, Clay Frog. Welcome in. Yeah, if you're looking for behind the scenes, this would be the right category for behind the scenes, right? A little bit of video editing. Not sure if this is the right spot for it. I feel like it might be in the way of some things, but we'll see. If not, I could probably put it up here, but then it'll be in the way of the preview window. Down here is good too. Or maybe like where my me avatar is or something. I'm trying to check which corner is good. I think this corner here, where the mouse is. Yeah, I think I'll keep it here for now. Hopefully the size is fine. There we go. Welcome in. Hope your day went well. We're getting some rain tonight. Apparently it's not as cold as one would expect around this time of year. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting a white Christmas this year, so I'm sure there's going to be snow on the way. Possibly after Christmas. Alright, so I'm going to cut out the thanks for playing part here. And let's zoom in. There we go. So this will probably be the length of about 5 hours total. 5.5 hours total. So what I'll do next is set the selection to project. Let me see. So now, right now, I think it's capturing this end, the tail end here, the time code. So I want to make sure that is cut somewhere before the last frame here. So I'm gonna go back up here and scroll through a little bit. Yeah, I want to cut it somewhere there. So there's the time code at the bottom. I think that placement is like near perfect. Because previously, I think before the layout change for Scribblet, the canvas used to be a lot smaller, as you see in the preview. The speed art time-lapse in the corner here that I place for the past drawings. You notice how different that looks from how it currently looks. The layout is all different. Mostly the chat window for Scribblet took up a lot of space. Took up like 25% of the entire screen. And we have that canvas view, which was fine, but yeah. I gave some feedback to the developers of Scribblet for them to expand the canvas, make it a bit bigger, and here's how it looks now. So yeah, it's good to provide feedback to the developers in hopes that they could, you know, fix some of the issues and stuff, improve some of the features. So it's quite nice. So yeah, there's a little slideshow of some of the past drawings that I've done. Hopefully the audio for that is not coming through, because I don't want that to come through. I made sure to set it on mute. But yeah, each of those videos are all up on YouTube, I think. Some of them are on TikTok as well. So I mainly use that platform to have time-lapse videos. Alright, so I'm gonna do the select to project again. And you notice this the blue bar here. The blue bar at the top of the timeline is where it's gonna loop. It only loops the region that you set it to. So, and that option just now is to set it to select the project only, or the entire project in completion. So that's why I made sure to cut this part out so that it doesn't overlap or extend too long. But I think if I go this far, I may have set the contrast for this a little bit different. So maybe I'll just extend this out all the way. Because I think what happens is, if this layer is not in view, or is no longer active in the timeline, it would just show the layer effects of the layer that's on top of the video footage. So unless, I think there's another layer that I set to that would dodge that effect. But yeah, there was like an effects that I set for one of these higher levels or these other tracks here, and you can set like a bunch of effects and stuff, and you can mute and or solo a track just to test out the footage. But yeah, I think this one has the effects right here. So you click on that, you'll see all this, different plugins and stuff. You can add a whole bunch of plugins, and these are some of the ones that came with the program. Yeah, picture-in-picture. That's what I set for the time code. Normally it wouldn't be this small, but I set it myself to shrink it down. Sometimes I would forget to do that. For some of the other time-lapse videos, I would set it as the default, and not remember how to put, you know, to increase or decrease the size for it. So, which is why I have this template all set for myself, so I can use for later. Yeah, it's good to have a template so you can work a little bit, you know, the workflow goes smoothly, and you don't forget things and stuff, and pump out the videos, you know, much faster. So now that we have the first file set, I think the beginning part here, I forgot what I was supposed to do. I think the most important part is to have the time code set at the very start once I open the canvas or the creative mode in Scribblet. And yeah, this is where it starts. So the clock here on the time code is 00, all zeros. And I'm going to set a marker, press the M key, make sure to have the cursor, or, you know, this part here to where you want to set the marker. And then once you press it, and the marker is the M key. I like to use this as a way to note certain parts of the project. So, and it would number each of the markers. So this is the first marker, being number 1. So I'll just name this as whatever. Sometimes I just leave it blank. Let's see, start. I just type in start, and that'll be the name of this marker. And then I think I also have like a second marker towards the end when I feel like the drawing is like finished. Normally I would try to get a marker in where I start to sign the drawing or upload it, because I kind of want that in like slow motion or just regular time speed, or just a slow enough time speed to know the difference. So that's how I have my time-lapse videos, if you notice. Somewhere around 5:12 I think is where it starts to slow down a bit. So let me see if I put it here, and I'll just type in N. So start and then end. Other type of question, do you use the H.264 and NVEC encoding for your stream? So I use, so the difference between those is that that first one, the H.264, is the software, I think, and then the NVEC, which is the NVIDIA encoder, and that is the hardware. You kind of want to go with the hardware first. By default, if OBS or streaming software doesn't detect that you have, you know, a graphics card or a piece of software, or I mean, a piece of hardware that would encode the video, it would normally select the software first as the default, because that would be the piece of software that would be provided with OBS and or other streaming softwares. So if you do have a graphics card that's capable, and you know that it's capable, use the hardware option. So anytime you see NVEC, select that one, because that would loosen up all the you know, a lot of the CPU usage when you're streaming. But it's good to like test things around and see what works. Yeah, that's like more of a technical question. But the way I do it, I kind of make the NVEC the top priority, and then after that, I won't be able to use the hardware because I'm streaming to multiple services. So the way I have mine set up, restream would be one way to alleviate some of that processing, because it would output to 2 platforms, and then I use a separate plugin that would output to other platforms, but they would each encode with a different method. So I would use software to encode those the stream to output to those platforms. So there's like, we can see, take a look and count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 other different platforms that I'm outputting to at the same time. And then I make sure to set the right resolution and stuff, bitrate, so that the options are there for me to set it for each of those platforms. And so far it's working. It's like running smoothly, so no chugging so far. And like, there's an option to have it so that you can directly use the same settings as you set for OBS for the main streaming, like the main output setting that you set to for OBS. And this is just, related to just OBS only, because this plugin isn't available for like any other streaming software, but just for OBS in general, which is what, this is how it's possible, is to use OBS and this little plugin that I have. Let's see what else. But yeah, there's like different methods that you can do, and you just gotta know the amount of upload speed that you can do. So depending on your upload speed, that's gonna help. That's gonna determine like how much you can upload, and what resolution you want to set it to and stuff. So, but yeah, decreasing the resolution, bitrate would make it a lot more smooth, for sure. Alright, let's see. So I think this project is all set. I'm gonna save this as our first file. So you can find the actually, I'll just make a new folder here. So yeah, so these are the 2 template files that I tend to use for myself. First, it will be this template, Timelapse template that I had. This is the current one that's open right now, and I'm currently editing through. And then there will be another template, which is for the intro and outro, which I'll add later. Let's create a new, and then I'll name this. Let's see, what was the date for this? Try to remember now. I'll just name it the Grinch for now. Grinch drawing. Unless I can copy it from the other folder. Oh, there it is. Just save it to this folder then. Well, that's one. That one's in downloads. I see. I'll just save it to this for a little bit. So I'll name this A, and that will be our first project file for this. So then I'll close that. And then what I do is I go to File, Import, Media, and then browse for that A project file that we just did. Open. Oh, you can also preview too when you scroll to this. Previous versions of Vegas, you weren't able to do this. This helps a lot. You can just preview through the project, which is pretty neat. Look at that. You can kind of see it right behind my me avatar. It's pretty cool. You gotta be careful though. You can't, like, if you click on it, it will only select like a portion of that project file. So be careful not to click on it like in the middle of the thumbnail. Otherwise you have to like seek through and extend the bar all the way to the end or beginning or something. Because once you click on it, I think it did something with this. It selects only that portion right there. So you notice how there's a line? Wait, hold on. You can get it in view. So if I select that, it'll only show, when you drag it in, it'll crop out every other part of that project file. It only have the part that you selected. So it's like a mini, sort of like a mini timeline that you're selecting, which is weird. I don't know why they do that. Because you kind of want to get like the entire project in, so make sure that the entire project is, you know, selected. Because sometimes I made that mistake once, and I realized, well, how come this file is like shorter than how I remember? And I just found out, like, wow. So yeah, that's something that's new, and yeah, it wasn't in a previous version of Vegas. Oh hey there, Blue Jacks. So now it asks if I want to set the project video settings to match the media. I'll just click yes. So you notice the so this is the project file, part A, and you notice the markers are still intact. This is kind of like having like an ID tag for an MP3 or whatever. I think WAV files, like audio WAV files, also has that sort of thing if you drag it into like an audio editing program. And it would have markers from when the file was exported after production, which is pretty neat. So in terms of video, these markers are there. So they stay intact with that project file. And it's more, as you browse around, you click around like this, it's more prone to selecting that marker, which is why markers are pretty important, because they help pinpoint where, you know, which part you want to edit and stuff. So you zoom in, sometimes it's not exactly to the point, depending on, you know, how much you can scroll and stuff. Because right now it's like zoomed in almost 100%, or whatever the max number of zoom-ins you can do. So I'm going to zoom out. So right now the playing marker is not exactly at the orange marker. So I gotta make sure that's lined up with that, or just roughly around that spot, because, you know, that's where I want to have it at. So I'm gonna put another marker on top of it, because we're starting a new project file. So I'm putting it on top of there. Also, another thing is, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't do that yet. I'm gonna delete that too. So yeah, you can also delete the markers just in case you mess up. So you can delete it. I forgot what I wanted to do. So make sure to do this. Project, or properties, I mean. I think you can do it from here too, from the file at the top. So project, any piece of media that you have for this specific object or specific project, I mean. You can go to properties, and I think, I'm not sure if there's a way to do it from here. Probably not. You can also set the time code for it, for each of the files, but I don't really do it that method. There's certain times I would try this to readjust the time code, but you don't want to fool around with that too much, or else it will just get confusing. But yeah, properties from the track, and then you go to disable resample. In the older version of Vegas, there was an easier way to do it, and you can just do it by selecting all, like Control A to select all the files, all the tracks, and I would have like a plugin. It was more of a script. It was just a script that that you can just attach to the top UI here. There's a bar at the top. Yeah, you can customize some of the buttons, and you can add a shortcut. And then I would press that shortcut to make all the files without having to go through each of the files and just, selecting, to disable the resample, because that's what I want to do. Otherwise, if I keep it to use the project's resample mode, it would just give like this odd look when it's being played. But yeah. So what I want to do here for this layer or track is I want to shrink it down so that it would actually look like it's sped up. So control, holding the control key, left control, and then I use the left click to drag from the end and then towards the left. So now it's shrunken about 25% of where it used to be. So if I just undo that, Control Z to undo. So it went from this end, which was like 5 hours long, 5.5 hours long, to all the way to like about an hour and a half. So yeah, about 120. So that's like 1/5 reduction. So it's not a crop. It's a squeeze. Like I just squeeze the length of the video. So when I play it back, it'll be, so and so times the speed. And yeah, this is the entire process. I mean, most of the process is like this. You continue to shrink it down until you get it down to whatever your preferred length of video would be. So I definitely don't want it to be ending at like an hour. I wanted to get it down to at least like 2 minutes, I think. Roughly around 2 minutes is the sweet spot I want to get it at. Before I used to have it at like around 5 minutes or so, somewhere below 5 minutes. But nowadays, with the platforms like TikTok and YouTube Shorts, you kind of want to get it roughly around like a minute, between a minute to like, I don't know, 2 minutes. But anywhere under 2 minutes, I think it's that's the max you want to go for some of the YouTube Shorts and stuff. Because I know YouTube now is starting to push that YouTube Shorts format, which is I don't know, it's gonna make people and creators in general want to rethink how they edit their videos and what like what kind of content they want to put out. And I just read, I think yesterday or the day before, that YouTube will probably have a way for content creators to have like a profile for long videos and a profile for short videos for the YouTube Shorts. So that is, I don't know, that is something interesting. It seems like they're putting more eggs in that basket for the YouTube Shorts. So yeah, that's something to think about. And I think for me, for the things that I do, is for me to put out stuff like content for the shorts, and I can do that in the form of like speed art videos, like time-lapse videos and stuff. So this is my way to put my stuff out there. But yeah. And people make all sorts of things, like, exercise videos, cooking videos and whatnot. You can go all out, be creative. Alright, so now that we've shrunken down the file, now I can put the markers back. So you notice, like, I tried to select the marker, but it's not exactly at that spot like I mentioned. So you gotta zoom in and try to select it as close as you can, but sometimes it's not as close. So I'll probably just keep it to where, like right before the time code starts. So I'm gonna put a marker there. Let's leave it at a number 1. By default, it would just name the markers with the number. But as long as the marker's there, you know, I'm good. It doesn't have to have like a name or a number or anything. And then scroll to the end, put one over here as well. Another thing about markers I didn't get to mention is that you notice the blue bar at the top. That is the region that would select the project that's currently on the timeline. You can double click right above it if you want to select a certain portion of that file or of that track. So now when you double click, it will select just that portion right there, which is pretty neat. So if you want to exclude that, you can go back and get the middle part. But then it'll only go between each marker. So first marker, second marker, it only selects that portion. So you're missing out the ones outside of it. So unless you extend it manually, so I can just go this way, or select whichever is the biggest, or just, you know, adjust it manually by dragging that region. So like so, see? Otherwise, you know, it will only select that, you know, between the markers. Just something that I've learned over the years. But yeah, I like to make use of that. Sometimes when I export the video, so if I go to render, it would have an option. Well, first you gotta select the formats, like, you know, whichever format you wanna encode it to. But there would be a render option where I can just render the loop region only, which is that blue bar. I can uncheck that in case I don't want to make any mistakes and stuff. But I usually have it checked because I know which part of the video that I want. But usually the project files that I end up having would be complete. Like nothing at the end of it, nothing at the beginning that I don't want, because I would have everything, you know, all set and ready to render. So that's usually how I have it. But yeah. So like just in case like there's like other small stuff that I forgot to edit out, I make sure to like delete it out. 'Cause sometimes there would be like pieces of video files at the end here that's not selected, but then the loop region would be over here. A lot of times there would be like pieces of audio files that's like at the end that I don't intend to use, but it's just there just to, you know, just for testing purposes to see how it would sound, you know, with the video or something. I would bring it, drag it back and forth, but then I'll just leave it outside here. It's as if there's like another, like a temporary box or a temporary timeline that I could, you know, drag it from or something, like a library. But yeah, that's why I still use the you know, the region. All right, so let's make sure resampling is disabled, so that's good. I think I want to increase. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So I think next is to adjust the frame rate. I tend to keep it to 60 frames, or 59.9 is the standard for video. Basically 60 frames, so I'll apply that. Since we've already decreased the size or scrunched up the size of the video to like 1/5 or whatever size it was, we would have that 60 frames. So when you play it, the playback would be a lot smoother rather than 30 frames. And you can see the time code go. Also, let me see if you can get the difference. It's probably not noticeable because the stream is currently 30 frames, rather than 60. I could have put 60 frames, but didn't think about that. But if I use the project resample mode, it would look a little bit blurry. The deeper I go, like the more I crunch up the video, it would look a little bit odd once it's once it goes a little bit faster, which is why disabling the resample would give it more cleaner look. Alright, so I'm going to save this project file. Save as, I'm going to set it to a B, so it goes in alphabetical order. Yeah, I think I'm all set with this file. We got the markers, crunch up the video, 60 frames, no resampling. I'll close this, and then I'll go import, and again, this time we choose the B project, and yeah, we do the same thing over. So you crunch up the video, crunch up the project until you get it to the preferred length. And each time it would ask if I want to adjust the project settings to, you know, this file, this project file. So, and again, make sure to disable the resample before you shrink it. I also want to cut the end part, so I want to split this part here from this marker, because I don't want to shrink that all the way, that end part. Because remember, I do want to keep that as a way to showcase the end. Closer to, you know, the original speed. So kind of save that for the end so that folks can see how the drawing turned out at the end. But I also showcase that at the beginning, so there's not much to miss. Project file or project region. So you notice how this playing cursor is like all the way at the end where it used to be. So when I try to zoom in with the mouse wheel, it just go all the way to the end part. So it's important to know where that cursor is going to be at. That's why I move it over here. Clicking underneath the tracks makes more sense. You can, you know, browse through, seek through here more easily rather than clicking on it, clicking on the track. Because sometimes there would be a mistake where if you click, sometimes the computer would lag and it would just drag the info or the data, and it would just misplace it. Even when it's like, even when you have like a snap feature on, so this piece of file would snap to whatever's that's close to us, closest to it. So gotta be careful on that. But yeah, that tends to happen a lot in the early days. But I think that they made it a little bit more more convenient, the newer versions, so that you don't accidentally do that. Because I think now you can adjust the snap feature so that it doesn't do that. Alright, going in, marker, and I'll probably also add a marker at the end here just to remind myself for the next project. So let's make sure the resampling has been disabled. It's also important to do that ahead of time, because once you split the videos to pieces, you'd have to do this for each of the pieces. Because if you do it ahead of time, each of the pieces would be, you know, they would have that same setting as you had. So otherwise you would have to, you know, select it multiple pieces, and then I forgot what you can do in this new version. There was an easier way to do it, but it's almost as easy as clicking the script that I used to have in the old version of this program. But yeah, I don't know, I forgot to do it. There was something, I think it was like something to do with switches or something. I'll have to find it again. I remember doing it before. It was like something like this, like switches, and it would have the option to disable the resample and stuff. But yeah, something like that. Alright, so this is all set, I think. Disable. I'm gonna save this as C this time. We got about what, 20 minutes? So it shrunk down from like an hour 20 to now about 20 minutes. So we cut off like an hour. So yeah, we're getting close. So you close that, import again, C project file, and yep, same thing goes for this. I'm gonna, do the disable resample thing again. And scroll to the end. Let's cut, split the video with S, and then I'll shrink this one down. Oop. I shrink it all the way. And then I'll keep this one, drag it down, reattach, and then project region. And then I'll set the marker. Let me test play it to see how fast it's playing. 1 second, 2 second, 3 second. That's a good 5 seconds right there before it starts. So this project is about 5 minutes long, 5, almost 6. Yeah. So I'll probably have to shrink it one more time. I think it'll probably end up at like E or something. Yeah, possibly E again. Usually with these time-lapse videos, they would have multiple files, project files, and some around E, F, sometimes G if it's a very lengthy one. Still, you have to see how long the Hellraiser video would be, because that one took like multiple stream sessions to finish that drawing. But I think I have all the videos for that downloaded. I hope. If not, at least we get this Grinch one done. Alright, so let me double check. Resampling. Let me see how fast this one is going. So far we've only scrunched up the end part of this video just once, I think. Once or twice. Yeah, so that's a pretty slow speed. But I kind of want to showcase that here, submitting to the contest. So at least we see like this pop-up dialogue for a moment. I might just shrink that, because it does take a while. Yeah, let me see. Let me shrink that. Unless, actually, yeah, that's fine. I'll just shrink this one. Let me see how it looks now. Yeah, that's definitely enough time to read all that. And then you have this moment here to look at the entire drawing. Okay. Hold on, let's see. Let me try it again. I think I want to get this part here. I'll scroll up to where I close that dialogue. Then I'll split. I'll shrink this part here. And then I'll drag this over. See, notice how it snaps. Snapping makes it, a lot easier. I remember when, like, oh my gosh, early version, so like somewhere in like the early 2000s, that's where I was like starting out with the video editing. Early 2000s, there was a lot of the like transition, like this sort of thing, where you would overlap the layers or the tracks. Sometimes you have, multiple layers or multiple tracks, and then you would have, like, say, this one would go over here. Like, figuring this out. This, once you have this laid on top like that, it would just automatically cut to that top layer. See? So it doesn't have that smooth transition unless you go with the fade effect. Let me see if I can zoom in on this and just show this as an example. There, you get a better view of it. But yeah, so now that I have this transition, it'll be more seamless. Notice how, now this time it fades because I had the had this part moved over, and you can adjust this fade style too. Let's see, fade type. You can make it more abrupt or more slow. So it'll be you know, it shows up. It starts out slow and then it'll complete towards the end. And you can do that for both of these. So I can go here. You get a little bit of that black because there's no other track underneath it. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase that. There's some other stuff here, but I don't know what it is. Snap offset. Okay. Oh, so you can adjust that. That's the snapping thing that I mentioned earlier. So snap offset, that is something that's more recent. That wasn't there before in the old program. But that helps with the snapping, especially when you're zoomed out and you just want to, you know, snap at a certain spot. So like if I adjust like this, it won't snap until, you know, it gets, you know, to a certain moment or certain spot, then it starts to snap. There you go. Alright. Let me make sure the whole entire project is selected. Go for the D. Alright. I think we're good. Close that. Import again. I think this time, let me see how short this would scrunch up to. Cause, you know, again, I want to keep it to like 2 minutes. Yeah, this is about like 2 minutes it can shrink to. So now that I know about what length it's gonna end up, I want to bring up the other template. So this is the other template that I saved for myself to use, and I named this one Timelapse Template Intro Outro Text. So I'm going to open this up. This is the entire layout for this. Intro text I've already written down, drawn in Scribblet, and I kind of want to update this because I had it. I think there was a recent video that I put out that had this font when I meant to put a different font too. So let me see if I can adjust this. Yeah, the arcade pix is one I tend to use for like retro style art, or something that's based on a retro video game IP or something. Like the Jason one, I think the Jason retro style Jason from Friday the 13th. I think I had that font for that, but I forgot what the other font I used for the other drawings. Just so you can browse through this. This one seems okay. The Arial black. I like the bold look. I could probably use the one I like to use. I think it's called the Next font, something like that. This is the fun part, is when you're choosing the fonts, and it's good to have like a variety of fonts installed. Oh yeah, I think it might have been this one. Yeah, I think it might have been this one. It's something that looked like this. Let me see if I can bring it up a little more. Yeah, it might have been this, or at least it looked like this. But then I set it to a bold, so you can actually see the text a little more. Check each of these different variations. Okay, so we got semi-bold, It's more. Yeah, semi-bold. Okay. So Bond's Shrift. Bond's Shrift. Okay, so this is the regular one, Bond Shrift. Let me check the semi-bold. Semi-bold is actually a little bit skinnier. What the heck? Here, let me go back to the regular one. There's a condense. There's the light. So how does the non-bold version of the light looks like? Exactly the same. Oh boy. Sometimes the font style doesn't change for the preview for some reason. Let's go back to the regular. So yeah, this is the one I want to use. So I think the Jason one might have shown up in the slideshow down here in the corner. And I think for this current time lapse that's playing right now, the boy with the blue pajamas, I think for that video had that font that I wanted to use. So I'm trying to look for that exact font. But this one's fine. I think this one's probably as close as I can get to that one. I could try to add some borders to it. Maybe like an outline or something. Because there's going to be another video underneath, which is that project file. So let me see if I can import Grinch, Project D, Project D. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this underneath. As for the project settings, and there you go. Check the font there. Okay, so I think the text starts to end somewhere around here, and that is the about 5 seconds in on when I start the drawing here. Oh, we can still see the shadow. It starts to fade. Alright, so see you can get right somewhere right here. Well, make sure this layer is selected. Cut that. Drag it down. I think I might also want to shrink this too, so I can do that. Bring it down to under 2 minutes. So the project time will be indicated right here. It's about 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Shrink it down a little more. Other times, I would just drag this template to like a new. I would import this template to another project altogether, and then I just edit from there. But because I wanted to change the font style for this part here, which is why I went into this template to further edit it. Oh, thanks, my father. For folks who are just now following, I don't normally do these video edits on stream. Like, it's a once in a while thing. And the last time I did one was back in 2019, I want to say. And it probably wasn't on Twitch. It was probably on a different website. But I tend to play a lot of Monster Hunter on this Nintendo Switch. So whatever I play on Nintendo Switch, tonight was supposed to be. It normally would be a Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate night that I tend to play on the Wii U. But yeah, I just want to get this in because, you know, getting close to the holidays, and I want to get this video out, and I want to show the process of me doing it. So, but yeah, tonight is just this Grinch drawing that I finished drawing last night, and it's gonna turn out to be a time-lapse video. And there are some examples over in the corner here of some of the past drawings I did, and they're all in time-lapse. Well, hopefully I didn't lose any connection, because I saw the DLive chat box just like reload itself. Let me double check. Hopefully it didn't lose any connection there. I'm F5ing that chat window. Actually, I can just bring it to the screen. Look at this is the cheat. This is how small the DLive chat window is. You know what? This would be a fine moment where I could showcase how my second monitor looks like right now. Because I feel like folks have been wondering, like, man, how do I have my chat windows open and stuff? So I'm about to show it in a minute. Let me see if I can find the there it is. That's my second monitor. So if I disable that first monitor, this is my second monitor right here. There's my mouse. There's my cursor right there. For some reason, the DLive is like lost connection. Let me see if we can refresh this again. So yeah, this is my second monitor. You can see the you know, the OBS and the chat windows. This is how I read the chat windows. Look how small they are. I'm trying to get each of the chat windows open. There you go. And yeah, so here's a quick look at my OBS. And here's how I was able to broadcast to multiple platforms. Is this multiple output, and then once you find the stream keys and the URL to output it to, you click on modify. Well, first you click on add new target, and then, you know, put your information in. And here's the encoder settings. But yeah, you can choose the hardware, software, and go from there. And if you do choose hardware, or, you know, whatever other setting you want to choose, so I have the, you know, the NVIDIA NVENC, NVIDIA encode, and then the X264. You want to know your resolution and bitrate you want to set it at, and, you know, a couple other options. Audio, I just keep it at this default get from OBS. So yeah, get from OBS is the option that I was talking about, and that just pretty much takes up, or takes the setting or the video that's being encoded from your default settings, and then outputting that to the, you know, whatever target platform. But yeah, there's a visual of that explanation if you want to find that out. All right, so let's head back. So yeah, this is how I see the chat. It's like look how small that is. So in comparison, I'm gonna drag this chat over. Oh, you see it on the side there? You see it on the right side? It's coming into the other screen. So yeah, this is how small it is. I gotta look at the chat. See? And this is the YouTube and Twitch one. This is the restream chat box. So yeah, just to give you an idea. So each of the chat windows are just like overlaying over each other, and yeah, just not enough room. Because the resolution for that monitor is like a little bit between like 720p and 1080p, so it's not quite like, you know, full HD. Aside from this, you know, this monitor, this is more up-to-date monitor. All right, so back to this. So these end tracks are set up at exactly the right spot that I want to edit at. So click to the end here. This is where I want to end the video. So it's gonna be like an hour and 59, not an hour, it's a minute and 59 seconds. An hour. So I think I want to shrink this down to that exact spot, and notice how it snaps. It snaps to wherever the furthest out one of these tracks would be. So hopefully it's at the right spot. And then I'll shrink the region selection to the project. Let's double check. Okay, so this is how it looks now. I might want to shrink it down a little further because I kind of want this end part where it shows the logo and my name and the socials platforms at the end. I tend to keep that blank, like where there's like a solid color background, like a black color or white color, whatever. And once in a while, depending on the drawing, I would blur the drawing so it would have a view of that and then this thing, the logo and stuff, which is more of like a stylistic choice. Let me see. Oh, I forgot. Well, let me see. Let me disable the tune a bit here. I've been playing that like on loop. But yeah, this Winamp. There's nothing special about that. Good old Winamp still works the same as it always does. So this will be the final project. So I want to make sure, careful not to save it over the template. I want to save as. Go to that folder and then we'll type E. This will be the, and again, project files tend to end at the E file, so save it at E, and then I'll import some music which I made specifically for this Grinch video, and it's the piece of music that we've been hearing on loop, so let me add that in. And I don't know if it would play through the stream. So each file that you import, oh my gosh, this already an audio file. This was the other audio file that I had as part of this project, but we don't need that one. Let's just delete that one. So you can use the delete key to delete any excess files that you don't want to use. That way it would decrease the size of the project file. It's important to do that, so that they don't take up a lot of space. So I'm gonna drag that one that I had in. This is that Grinch one. Let me test play to see if it would out the sound for the stream, because I didn't get to do that. I don't know if it captures the audio of Vegas yet. Okay, it doesn't look like it captured it, because I only see my mic meter go up. So let me swap back to the other monitor. So you notice right now the peaks are only at my microphone, and there's none coming through for Vegas. Let me swap back. Let me see if I'm going to adjust this a little bit, because I know it's going to come out sounding a little loud than I want it to be. Just a smidge, I think. A few decibels. I'm going to keep this playing. We'll probably just play on loop once it reaches the end here. And I'm going to swap back. So what I do here, and this is something that I feel like not many broadcasters know, is that there's a plugin that you can capture individual applications, especially if you only want to capture the audio for that application. I have this plugin here, and I'm going to go to Properties. Right now, I only have it capturing Winamp and VLC. This is a very useful plugin that I feel like not many people know. And there's a lot of huge streamers out there that are still figuring out how to capture individual programs, individual apps like this. And they just come up with some weird method. And this is probably the most simplest method ever. So for this, I want to capture, I think, Vegas. So add executable, and now it's in. I think you can add from here too. Oh, this is okay. I think this is to rename it or something. Properties. Yeah, you can rename it. Yeah. So once you add it in, add the executable, whichever app it is. Whoop. I just add Discord for no reason. So yeah, whatever is selected right there, like OBS, I can select that. I don't know why I would, but take out Discord because I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, so only those three that's being captured for this specific source or audio source. Click OK, and now it should sound. So it should have audio now, because I see the meters go up. So there you go. That's how you do it. And it's like different multiple apps that you can capture from. Pretty much supports any, at least the ones I need. So I can capture Discord, voice calls, or whatever. No, it's simple and easy. No need for anything else. Let's swap back. So now you can hear the audio that's playing through Vegas, I presume. I haven't checked it myself, but visually I think it's working. So yeah, OnlyFans, right? All right, so yeah, so now you can hear the audio, and yeah, make sure that Winamp is already stopped. But yeah, this would be my typical music player when I'm doing art. So minimize that for now. I also have a song ID that shows up on the top here. This would be from Winamp. So whatever I'm playing on Winamp, that would be, the song that's playing. So now that I have it non-minimize or maximize, it shows that the song title is scrolling. So I added a music note there to indicate that this would be the song or the music, if folks want to see what the music is. But yeah, I feel like most art streams would have like their Spotify up, and there are ways to do that too, like to showcase Spotify. There's like browser sources that you can just add as a source for OBS and stuff, and that makes things more convenient. So you can just customize your stream layouts and stuff. But yeah, this is also another way to do it. And I just set it as a source to capture the Winamp, this part here, this section here. Just only this section, the song title. And yeah, whatever I play, it just update that. So yeah. So once I have Winamp minimized, it will just not scroll anymore because it doesn't detect it on screen. Unless I have it in background. So there you go. Continues to scroll. Alright, so back to the project. We do have the audio in. Let's make sure. Whoop. Oh, wait. Is it crashing? Ooh. How lucky are we? So sometimes Vegas would crash in the middle of, trying to refocus to the app. So, which is fine because I can just, reopen the project again and then just, line everything back up. All right, I'm just gonna play it from here for a minute. Rip Winamp or rip Vegas. Yeah, it looks like it froze, so I'm gonna force close this so you can reopen it. There you go. That's an actual real experience when you're using that program. Just open this back up. Last session did not complete properly. Would you like to restore the auto-saved project? Yes. Cool thing about Vegas is that you can do that. it autosaves. So unlike other programs that don't autosave, very important feature that should be normalized in today's programs. And sometimes you just don't get that. Yeah, we didn't lose much. Just gonna add the audio back in if I can find it. Grinch. Wait, was it in this? Oh, it's in music. There you go. It's good to know where you have your audio files at, or whichever you intend to use. Drag it back in. I sometimes leave a little bit space at the beginning so that the video would have time to to load or to breathe before it starts the music, and also at the end. Stop the one for now. So now we're back to this. I'm gonna save this, save as, and then oh my gosh, look how many project files this had. This is another project that I was working on, but I don't think I ever uploaded it for some reason. It was another drawing that I did back in 2021 last year, and I never got the time-lapse video of that up, I don't think. Although I do have it archived, 23.2 gigs of files in that folder. That's why I tend to run out of space. Let's see, so was it e-file? I think it was e-file. Yeah, so I'm gonna save it through that. I think. Is it not e-file? Yeah, I think it's e-file, right? Save it. Hopefully I did that right. Alright, so we got the audio for the Grinch. Hopefully it's not that loud. Hey there, boat ladder. Alright, so it doesn't seem to capture that for some reason. Like after that crash. Let's see if you can get that in. I'm gonna re-add it again because it might have errored out altogether. Alright, I'm gonna decrease the audio a bit for that track. Huh. Is it not capturing? Interesting. Weird. Wow. Yeah, for some reason it's not tracking the audio for it now. I mean, I hear it just fine, but capturing it through a plugin just now is it completely try taking out and putting it back in. Vegas, there you go. Try playing this again. Yeah, that's weird. It doesn't track it. Oh well, that's fine. At least we had it working before. See, I'll just play through Winamp for now. Yeah, so we're pretty much creating a time lapse of the Grinch drawing, and I want to say we're almost finished. The process usually takes like from beginning to end. I think for me, depending on the length of the drawing sessions, and I don't know if I want to count like making the music. Oh, that's another thing too. I haven't really broadcast myself like making and composing the music. There was a site, it was called Studio Sessions, where I would broadcast on. And that place is mostly for music composers. to broadcast themselves making the music, whether it's like live music or, you know, digital productions like this, like on a computer and stuff. But I haven't broadcasted that site for a long time, for a few years. And I think they closed it down by now. I forgot which company owned it. There was another company that would host um, audio files like waves or MP3s or whatever to send off to, you know, different labels and stuff. And it was mostly within like the realm of electronic music. So a lot of the dance labels would be on there. Um, but they shot off to a different like website to have like a streaming website. So it's mostly for, you know, producers, DJs, or whatever, electronic scene. And yeah, it no longer exists when I last checked. So they must have just like shut it down completely. All right, so I think let's see if I can find the markers here. I don't think I set the markers for this project. Also, let's make sure that is disabled. Also, I kind of want to import the still image, so you can find it through one of the folders. The Grinch, it's not in this one. Drawings, here we go. Favorites, there it is. So each of the drawings that are saved within Scribblet, it's saved to this directory on the app data local Scribblet, and then in the Scribblet folder there will be a saved folder, and then further into that there will be a drawings, and then favorites and history and so on. So these are all the drawings that were ever saved, whether it's like manual save or whatever. Yeah, all the way to the very beginning, at least until when I first installed or reinstalled the program on this operating system or this partition. And I think I can drag older files from a different partition over, and it may or may not recognize each of those files. Like these two here were from past installations when I had Windows 7 or the other Windows 10 back on the old computer. So this was one of the very first ones that I did for the first winter art contest for Scribblet. And sadly, I did not broadcast myself drawing this drawing, but I wish I had. Yeah, I wish I had broadcast myself, because I would love to have like a time lapse of this drawing. But it was just something that I did for fun. I didn't think to maybe turn each of these Scribblet drawings to like time lapse until I thought about it later on. But yeah, this one turned out pretty well. I think after that I started like, wow, maybe I should just start broadcasting it. So I think the year 2022 onwards, that's when I started. So it was like early this year when I started doing more Scribblet drawings and stuff. So I think this year alone was just packed with different drawings. I can see Rathalos and Chocobo. Yeah. So yeah, I think it stemmed from that. Alright, so let me drag. Actually, I'm just gonna copy this one over to the Grinch folder if we can find it. Oh, it was already at that directory. Let's go back. Grinch, Grinch. I'll paste it here. So I'm gonna drag this in, import it to the project. And I'm gonna go to the top layer, maybe create a new video track, and then I'll put the drawing in. So normally I would have this as a sort of a starting image. So the video would start at, whatever the finished drawing would be, and then I'd have it like zoom in and out slowly, and then the text pops out. Let me see if I can get the oh, I gotta realign the layers so I can get the text to show. So yeah, you see the scribblet. I think it's supposed to have like an animation, right? Huh. Oh, wait, it does. There you go. You barely see it. Yeah, just slides in. I feel like I could increase it, although that size is fine. Let me see how fast it looks when I play it. Okay, so that's like the rough version of it. Let me see if I can get another track. I could just duplicate this layer, or I just, do another drag and drop. Let me see if I should probably extend this. Okay, so the canvas starts somewhere at the 3-second mark for that project. Okay. And then the text starts to fade. There you go. Oh wow. Oh, that's me just showing the features, the new features of the update. Okay, so for the bottom layer, I'm gonna blur it out. This is more of a stylistic choice. But I like to use Gaussian blur. Add that, press OK, and then I think I'll check out the default setting for Gaussian blur first. So what this does is that it gives like this blur effect in the background, but I also want to increase the size of it so that it covers the entire widescreen, because currently the resolution for the canvas in Scribblet is not to the ratio that I have set for the video. The video is in widescreen 16:9 720p. As you can see, the details right there, 60 frames. And the drawing itself is at like a weird, like an odd aspect ratio. I think it's probably meant for like 16:10 or something, if I were to guess. So what I do is I adjust the resolution, make sure these buttons are unchecked, because right now they're checked. You see the blue. The blue means they're checked. So I kind of want to uncheck these two here. So this one locks the aspect ratio. So whatever size is currently set at, having that locked would retain that aspect ratio, as you can see. I'm going to undo so that it goes back to normal. So I want to uncheck that. And I think the centering, this is for centering, right? So wherever this little circle here, and you also see the letter F. There's a little circle here on that F where you can adjust, and this would be where whenever you resize, it would be focused, it would be based on that circle, wherever that circle is located. And each time you try to adjust any of the settings here, make sure the cursor that you have, which is the playing cursor, which is exactly where this is placed right now. You can have that so that it matches. So sync with cursor, this is the button that you either want to uncheck or check if you want to keep this in place with the time-lapse cursor. Because if you uncheck it, right now it's unchecked. You can move this separate from the time-lapse's cursor. So this will be a whole lot different from where this is located. But sometimes it's convenient to have it checked so that they sync together. But in this case, I'll just keep it unchecked just for convenience. And there's like other options here too. You can find out the cursor position, so you can pin down exactly where you want the cursor to be, or just to find more information on that. Let's see what else. Keyframes, see if you want to, I do make use of keyframes. So if I were to like want to resize it, and which I'm going to, so this will be, let me see, let me find the right resolution for this. So yeah, there is the 720 resolution, and notice how the circle is at the center, and that is the center of the image. I can move that around if I choose to, and I can lock the aspect ratio now after I adjusted the resolution, and there you go. Now it's just based on that circle part. So I can just move that around and make sure, the window is within. And you look at the preview window, that's how it's gonna look. Notice how it's all blurred because we set the effects. You can double click it to recenter. Let me see if I can move it over here. So if I move it to the corner there, I think it's still focused on this one here, this little circle that it was at. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I mean it's still focused on that, which is kind of strange because sometimes I want it to be based on like one of the corners or something, like how Adobe does theirs. Oh, yeah, right now I'm just like messing around with it. Okay, so I'm just gonna recenter that to its original spot, and let me see if I can increase the size of this. So I'll have it start out from this position, and then this will be the separate timeline, the timeline for this image. So I'm gonna go over here, somewhere towards the end of the image. Hey there, 2 point. And then I'm gonna put a keyframe. This is a little bit of animation, and keyframe for this one, I'll probably make it so that it shrinks, so you get a little movement in that first couple seconds. I'm not sure if I want to move it up here, but kind of want to keep it centered. Double clicking that. Then I'm going to move the keyframe. You can, yeah, that's another thing too. You can move the keyframe. So, however long the image is for that specific file that we just went through, you can adjust the size of it, and then you have to go back and forth to, make sure the keyframe is at the spot you want it at, or also be, it would end a little bit early if I were to extend this. Now let's go to the top layer, and this will be the clearer version of the drawing, and not the blurry background. But yeah, this is just more of a stylistic choice, is to have it blurred in the background. So for this top layer, I'm gonna resize this again, make sure it's on the first keyframe, and then I'll uncheck the lock. Let's have this at 1280, 720. And then I'll do like a slow zoom out. So let's add a keyframe there, and then I'll increase the size. Oh, I forgot to recheck the lock aspect ratio, because that helps a lot too. Or else it would just be like weird shapes as it increases or whatever. So once you have that, it keeps everything locked and balanced. And then, yeah, the further out I pull this, it would look more slow paced, like it just moves at a slower pace. So like if I were to go back to the timeline from the very beginning, there's the preview right there. So it has like a slow zoom out, and that is due to where I set these locations of the keyframes. So from that point, let's go another keyframe here. So this is a much quicker keyframe, and I want to maybe get it more zoomed out so you can get a look at Max the dog. And then I won't increase it all the way, but I kind of want to get somewhere close to the edge of the drawing. Because what it will do, it would just give it an effect, like a slight fast movement of the zoom, and then back to the slow motion towards the end. So as it slowly zooms out, it completes the image. So if I were to scroll through, and in the preview image, it would just see like slow zoom out. Huh. Oh, so it zoomed back in for a little bit there on those last few frames because of this one here, this keyframe. So I kind of want to delete this one here at the end, and then extend this one out all the way to the end. Because the more I extend this, you notice this one has got extended too, so it will just adjust to the length of that, whatever's on the timeline. So let's bring this back. See, now notice how now it's at the end. But yeah, that is very important. Sorry, 2 Point, I don't do that kind of stuff, man. You're gonna have to handle it yourself. Sorry, man. Yeah, I don't like raid other channels like that. I don't want to cause any trouble. But anyways, let me see. Let's play this back. See what we got. So yeah, so that's what we got for the zoom. And then I kind of want to add like a fade. So, oh, well that was weird. Oh my gosh, it looked like he's just like popped out forward. But that's because the blurred background one is a little bit more enlarged. So yeah, there's the fade. Let's see if you can extend it a little more. Yeah. After a couple of plays, once the preview image or the preview window has rendered the you know, that part of the project, it would show the preview more cleanly. There you go. So that's pretty neat. I think along with the text, I kind of want to add the Grinch, like big text, the Grinch. So, as seen in the past, you know, time-lapse videos, I would add the text pertaining to whatever character that I drew, and or whichever franchise it's from. So let's add another video track. Let's go to titles and text, and I can add one of these preset texts, and this would be an animated one, much like the one I have for drawn in Scribblet here. Let's name this the Grinch. I feel like I could add like the Grinch and Max, because Max is technically right there next to him. So maybe I'll add like a little pop-up underneath the Grinch. But I'll probably do that as like a separate layer. So let's see if we can find the right font for this. I feel like this one, the Badonkadonk one, always fits a lot of different. It's always so, like, it fits in so so well with like different different drawings and IPs and stuff. Something about the styled font. I don't know what another word to describe it. But yeah, I think this fits well. It's got that toony sort of like off look about it. But then having it all in caps look really, really well. Even this, even the small case looks the same as the capitals. Let me see. Capitals. That's all caps right there underneath it. So it's like pretty much the same as the small. All right, so the Grinch. I'm gonna try and decide what color I want this. The white looks okay already, but I feel like I could add a border around it. So you can find a good color. I could make it like Christmassy, so maybe white and red, or green and red. Sometimes I would go by how the official logo looks like, depending. The green looks okay too. I could probably do like green on the inside and white on the outside. Look, even this right here looks great already. All right, let me try this. Cool thing about the color selection though is you can make it so that you can also animate the color selection. So I could have multiple colors and make it like RGB if I choose to, and it would just animate through each of the colors that I select. And yeah, just click on the animate and it starts to give you all these settings to start that. Let me copy this. This is the color code, and I can paste it to this, so I can get the inside green. Meanwhile, this one, I could turn it white, just to test how it looks like. So there you go. Looks okay. For some reason, it still reminds me of like the Grouch from Sesame Street. Just a color choice, I think. It's very Grouch-like. Whereas the Grinch is more like neon. I don't know. I think at this point it's like a matter of preference of what colors you want to choose. So maybe I should add some shadows to it. Like right now, I'm at the same pose as this Grinch. I did like that the white on the inside and then the green on the outside. But this one's okay too. Oh, make sure this is not on loop. See how it looks like without the outline. Solid green. I know that at a distance, like if it's in thumbnail form, you kind of want the font to stand out. So it's important to choose a color that would stand out of the drawing. Then at the same time, it would cover the image for this first few seconds of the video. So there would be a moment, like at least a second, that I want to have where it won't have the font. And then also enough time in that first few seconds to show all the font, all the text. So there's also that I kind of want to make sure with each of these time-lapse videos. And after uploading many of the time-lapse videos, I noticed that like especially Twitter, if I would upload like one of my time-lapse videos on there, it would capture the first second. Like after that first second, like a second and like 1.5 seconds, that is the thumbnail for that post. So that's the first, like, the thumbnail image for that post, for that video. So that's something to note if you're planning to, put out a video on there. All right, let me go back to the green outline. Okay, this one's okay. I could make it so that this would, the font would have an opacity, like maybe 50% transparency or something. I can probably also do it through here. Let me see how it looks. Yeah, nah. I think I kind of want it like a solid color. Yeah. Sometimes like fading out the outline is a good option too. Like so. That way the inside color would stand out. Sometimes I like to do that. But let me see if I increase the border a little bit. So by default, it'll be a 10 using the slider, but you can actually increase it a little more by typing it manually. So I can probably do like 15. So now it's a little bit bigger. I think 15 is a good one. I could probably keep it at that. Let me swing the color around to see if there's any other good ones. Yeah, that's a too bright, too neon of a green. Yeah, I think the one I had is probably the best choice. So I'll keep it at this. Grinch. Not sure I want to increase the size or anything. Oh, you know what? How about if I have it like that? And then I'll decrease the part. So that way there's less of the text is covering the image itself. So this is another smart way to do things. Is to sort of redesign the text, realign it properly. But the most important part is to have Grinch in there. Like the word the is not all that important, so I'll just shrink it down. Oop. Not increase it, shrink it. I think 9 is the lowest I can go. Try to line it up with the eye, so it looks like there's a dotted eye or whatever. This is like a simple process of like logo designing, but not really logo designing. All right, bring that up a little more. All right, so I'll keep the Grinch that size, and I could probably add max. Let's see how this looks. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna have to add the fade out, I think. Okay, yeah. It bumps up slow enough for us to be able to read it. All right, so I'm cut this part out, and then I'll fade it along with the other text. Huh. Seems like it blends in with the canvas, which is white. Let me try something. I want to try and add shadows to it. Let's add a shadow. Oh. So I can probably keep the shadow black. Let's extend this one. Yeah, this is the part where you can just play around with. Let's get up to like 100 or something for the y-axis. And I could probably decrease the opacity. See how it looks. Or I just keep it solid. Okay, I'm gonna maybe bring it down to like 88 or something. Then at the same time, I could decrease the shadow color for the text underneath it. So you can find that text. Scribble it. All right, here we go. This should be like, what, 95 or something? Or 9? There we go. All right, let's preview this again. Huh, interesting. Wow, for some reason, I don't know if the plugin even works anymore. Hey there, Wolfman. Can you draw a request? What are you looking to see? Send your suggestions. Maybe if there's something good, I might take it up as a a night to draw it. Here. What do you have in mind? What do you suggest? If it's good, there you go. Yeah, I think I read your message in Picarto. And I remember catching that message and answered it. I think you probably missed the message. Or I probably didn't catch the message in time. Alright. So I don't know if the Winamp audio is coming through anymore. Let me double check here. Audio. Huh. Capture audio. Weird. Doesn't seem to show the audio meters anymore, which is fine. All right, so far we got the Grinch. Play this again. All right. So I think what I can do is I can probably decrease. I probably want to delay the text from popping up until somewhere about like 2 seconds in or something. But having it around like 1 second, like 1.5 or 1.2 is probably a good spot. Because you have at least the Grinch pop up first and then the scribblet text. And then at the same time, I kind of want the image to zoom out a little faster, especially around here on that first second mark. So what I could do is I could just adjust it from here. This is where I would sync the cursor. So syncing the cursor so that where I have it placed on the timeline, but also adjust it within the event effects for that track. So somewhere over here is where I want to get to zoom out. So I'm going to bring it over, drag it, and the keyframe would also snap to that cursor. All right, let's get it somewhere over here. Let's see how it looks now. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Yeah, because I want max to pop out sooner than later. So you can increase the speed for that again. Try it again. And make sure this is all scrolled all the way back. Yeah, someone like this. So about 1 second in, 1 second in, this is exactly 1 second. And you can see Max is like peeking out a little bit. Go back in there. Whoop. See, I want this part to capture. Yeah, there we go. Okay. It's a little bit more slower pace. Let me see if you can get the starting point to zoom in. That way it looked like, there's some movement at the beginning. Some more movement, I mean. Yeah, something like that, I think. And especially that second marker. Keyframe here. Okay, so yeah, it should be a little bit smaller. Check it now. Yeah, so you get that first that's slow, and then it zooms all the way out. Then a little bit more slower after that. There you go. That's kind of where I want it at. Get the blurred background. All right. So there we go. We got it. Play it again. Now let's just play through this and see how this video is going to turn out. Did I notice how the social pop-up just like continues to pop up every now and then? I think every second. Did I set it to? Or every minute. But in this time lapse, it seems like it's every second. So now we're about like halfway through. So you notice how the transition between the first session, the first stream session, and then the second stream session, it pretty much seamless. Wait a sec. Oh, please don't freeze. Please don't freeze. No. I think it froze. I think it froze. Huh. So sometimes it does freeze around that spot for some reason. Okay. Let me try to restart this again. Hopefully it saves where I last had the font. That's why it's good to save often. Come on. Man, there's like two crashes in a row tonight. Come on. Guess I have to do, oh, there it is. Close program. Bring it back up. Man, this it's still pretty buggy. At least we can auto resume from where we left off at. All right, let's see. Let's make sure everything's correct. Okay, so it saved the font settings and stuff, but it didn't save the yeah, it didn't save this part here where we adjusted the timing of the zooms. I'll try to get somewhere at the first second. Let's move this back. Let's check it again. Okay, let's move it a little bit more. I think I did something about this second keyframe where it decreased the size, where it looks like it's a slow zoom out, and then on the third one, that's where it starts to zoom out a lot faster. Yeah, something like that. Okay. I think for this one, I could decrease it a tiny bit. I'm not sure. Uh, Here, let me increase this one. I don't want it to look too jumpy when it's like zooming out. Okay, it looks fine. Yeah, looks okay. All right, this time let's make sure we save. Let's go back to that E file. And go play this video again. Zoom out. I don't know if it was the zoom out that's like causing it to crash. Let's try it again. If it does freeze, yeah. You know, I think I know what the issue is. This happened before on a different project that I was still trying to convert. And I think I finished that conversion. I was trying to get like a 60 frames version of it. And yeah, going back to that project file, it sometimes, well, pretty much all the time, like whenever I get to like 75% of that project file, it starts to like freeze up, like how this is doing. So even if I were to export and render this out right now, it won't complete that rendering until this part is fixed. So, I think I'll just let this, try to find a way to fix it. I'm trying to remember how I did that other project file. Because I think I might have rendered it at a different length before rendering out in the final E project, if you know what I mean. So I probably rendered it out like when it was still in the D or prior to that. Because the thing with using the project files and stretching it out or squeezing it this way is that it would try to read through all those project files and then try to render all of that together. But this is like the simplest, like in one go process that I tend to do. And normally it won't crash like this, but sometimes if I go too far, if there's too many project files, it would start to freeze up once it reaches this part here, like 75% of the way. But yeah, normally isn't the case, but for some reason, maybe, I don't know, for this project, it seems to crash. I was hoping it wouldn't. Wait, I was hoping that it would just be that one project file that I did that would crash, but apparently, I don't know. It seems to be the case for this project too. Alright, I'm gonna have to manually close out this app, restart it again. But I may not want to render it tonight though. I'll have to figure out how to fix it. Let's see, we're about like, what, 2 hours in on the stream? Let's open this back up real quick. But yeah, I just want to see that last part. But it seems like whenever we reach that... Well, oh, I didn't ask for the thing that time. Let's see, so E... So yes, I feel like if I were to either render out the C, it could work. Maybe even the D project file, but the E is the one that's like, it's errorsome right now. So if I were to go back to the E or the D or C and play that part where it would crash, I think that's, that's probably where I could find how to fix it. Oh, interesting. I didn't get to shrink this all the way. Okay. Let's see what I can do here. So this will be over here. Put a marker. And I think for this part, yeah, I gotta be careful because I know somewhere over here about the 1.4 minute mark is where it starts to freeze. It's usually somewhere around like 75%. Because whenever I would render out that past project file, it always stops at like 75% or something. 74, 75. Exactly, I think. And yeah, I had to go back through the past project files to pinpoint where it would freeze. And it's supposed to be due to like how the video was downloaded or something. Because the way with Twitch's videos is that when you go to the video producer page and you download each of the videos, like you have to wait a while for the files to reattach itself. Because the way they have their files up is that they would separate the video and the audio into pieces. So you're basically downloading each of those pieces in one go. I think over on their side, server side, patch it up all together, encode it on their computers, and then have the download ready for you to download. So by the time you have it downloaded through your browser, it would just be in one piece, one video file. I think that's how the process is for that site. I could also try to download from DLive, but I don't think it archives any more than 3 days. It starts to delete the VODs after 3 days, unfortunately. And YouTube's quality is not that great. It's like a little less with the bitrate, I think. So you don't have the original bitrate that you broadcasted it at. So yeah, Twitch is like one of the very few options I can do, because they would keep the videos archived if you have the setting for it for at least like 60 days, I think, or something like that, or at least a month. But I think they decreased it even further, so now we have only a week. We only have a week to download the video, unless you have it highlighted, which is the case. I do highlight the stream sessions. Alright, so I think what I can do next is shrink right there somewhere before like 512, right? Yeah, somewhere right here. Shrink that, bring this over, and I kind of want to have this part end just before it shows the logo and stuff. I could try to make it so that it blurs, so I can probably animate it. See how it looks when I do animate it. I'm gonna split right here. Let's have the Gaussian blur, and this is where I could set the animation for it. Yeah, I think it starts to blur like right here, so I'm gonna add a keyframe. Make sure both of these horizontal and vertical range have their dots. And then you select the keyframe up here, the diamond shape, and then adjust the settings from there. Go back to the first one, first keyframe, and then just make sure everything's clear. So it would transition from the clear image to the blurred image. And I could adjust the blur even further. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, so that's how it's gonna end up looking. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to go back to that blur, and I'm gonna bring this further down. I think I want to bring this further down too, so it'll have a much quicker blur. Okay, maybe a little more. I kind of want to get it so that this part would arrive once it's already blurred. Yeah, somewhere around here, I think. Yeah, maybe a little too soon on the blur. Yeah, something like that. So normally, like for the other videos, I have it so that it turns black, and then it shows this. Because, let me see if I can disable this. Yeah, it would just be like this. It'll just be completely black, fade out to black, and then shows this. But I don't know, sometimes I kind of like to show the image blurred in the background. So it'll be like that. Let me see how it looks. Failed to post. Yeah, so the failed to post dialog, that was because I hit the max number of servers joined for Discord. As we come to find out, the other night, one of the developers replied back, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you've hit the max number of servers joined." So yeah, you gotta have a slot open for me to upload an image correctly, submit it to the contest. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then the music just fades out. Let's make sure it ends at the right time. Get the project view. Okay, so it looks like the text is not at that frame that I want it. Hey there, Tyler. How's it going, dude? Let's see. Huh. Is there another layer that's like covering the text or something? Oh, I see. Hold up, let's see. I could extend this a little further. That show. Now it shows like the background there. I see. And then at this frame it disappears. Okay. Alright, that's good. So I think I can probably cut off the audio from this point. Or I could maybe, yeah, I can probably cut it from here. Cut that, and then I'll fade it out. Actually, I can probably use the volume. I like to use the envelopes volume. Then I double click for the boxes to appear, and then adjust it from there. Make sure one is at the end. Oh, let me delete these here. The extra ones that I just double clicked. So I tend to sometimes not use the fade that's attached to the ends of the tracks. Sometimes we'd use the volume bars to further customize and have more control on that part. There's also a panning too, so you can have the envelopes for both the volume, panning, and the flute, not flute, the mute, and effects and automation, apparently. All right, so let's see how this looks. Actually, let me just play the ending again. Yeah, so it just fades out like that. Let me see if I can bring this a little smoother. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I need to add that max part. I'm gonna save this. And let's go back to the beginning. All right, so far it looks good. I'm gonna add the max. Just a little small max that would pop up at the end here. Can't forget max. Let's add another layer. Media generator, let's get another text. Let's see if we can find a different style. Maybe one that's like slanted or something. Or we could just manually slant it ourselves. Let's see. I think this would be the right location and max. So I'm going to position it somewhere over here. And let's see if we can find the right font for this. Maybe something fun. And maybe not necessarily the Badonkadonk same font as the one we use for Grinch. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so many different font styles we gotta sift through. Oh, there's the Blondie one. Kind of almost looks like Pokemon style font. Oh man, see, this one looks nice too, but it doesn't show up in the preview correctly for some reason. Yeah, it doesn't show up in the preview. Over here, it looks fine, but then like when you look on in the preview, it doesn't come out as you want it. Oh, possibly because it's personal use only. That one looks kind of nice. Brush style. And max. I kind of want to have like a fun font for max. Captain Redemption. This one looks it's more like horror related. It's great for like, you know, horror, um looking for something that's more horrific looking. This one looks okay. I always like the Cooper font. It's a great one for like good, for like I don't know, just like an old school like 70s look. See, having the max like this style here, the Crimes Time 6, it sort of gives it like a horror film look to it. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the fonts that I downloaded has that sort of style. This one looks okay. See, I want something like this, something that's like fun and balloon-like. I don't know, something about that. Because I know like Max the dog is He's always looking like fun and happy in the film. Both the animated original and also the live action. I think that the new animated one, the CG one, is he's also pretty fun. This one looks okay. I think yeah, this one's the ghoulish fright, which is also meant for like horror, old school horror. Oh, how about that one right there? The Curse of Giddy Up. Huh, that one's not bad. Oh, this one though. This one's more stylish too. See how it looks when it's like smaller. And Max. All right, let me try this. Huh. And Max. Maybe we can have it like over the H, or just underneath it. Could probably adjust the alignment, tracking. Maybe not the tracking. I think the line spacing. Yeah, there you go. Line spacing. Yeah, something like that. Let me increase this so we can actually see it a little bit better. There we go. That's the main focus. Just get that view of Max. Maybe I can yeah, somewhere right there. And Max. Let me check the other fonts. So far, Gloss and Bloom would be a nice choice. Huh. Oh! See, that one looks nice too. It's got that classy look to it. Hmm. Ooh. This one looks pretty fun. Guacala is called. This is what it's called. Oh, this one looks good too. My golly, man. This is the hobo standard. Okay, I think I might go for that hobo one. Probably have to fix it up. Impact always looks good. Sometimes it's more like article friendly, I think. The impact one. So I need something that's like more that looks fun and like almost handwritten. Doesn't have to be cursive, but like yeah, this one looks. Let's see how it looks in bold. I kind of want something like this, but like I don't know. Like if it's marker, like if it's like handwritten, like I think that would be a great one. Maybe not, maybe not cursive like this though. Something that's like handwritten. This one looks okay. Yeah, like something like this, but like bold as this. But yeah, this is like almost close to what I wanted at. Hmm, interesting. See, this one's good too. The kid one and Max, huh? Kid games, kid magazines. Okay. Oh man. Here, let me try. Okay, let's get that in. Well, oh wait, why did I write the Max would be the comic book character. The Max, which has double X in there. Alright, let's just put and sometimes these fonts don't support the smaller case and or large case. Let's see, I can decrease this size here. Can you get a little smaller? Let's see, 9, 6, there you go. Gotta type it in manually. Okay, something like that, I think. I have to do the line spacing again. There you go. I don't know. Maybe I can decrease the size a little more. What? How's it 13? 5. Increase this a little more. And max. Or I can probably use the that. Yeah, the and symbol, of course. And max. Hmm. Okay. Now let's decide on the color of the font. Outline. Try out some different colors here. I think maybe something like more orangey. Green and orange, they sort of go together. Secondary colors. I feel like the orange would be very Lorax, Dr. Seuss Lorax. Alright, let's get this a little bit more thicker. 15. Man, that's a very bright orange. Of course, gotta add a shadow. This one was, what, 100? Yeah, 0.1, I think. Could decrease it to 0.07. Then transparency. Get 0.9. There you go, we got the max. Could make it a little bit thicker. 20. There you go, let's see how that looks like. Oh. Gotta decrease the length of that. Whoop. And also decrease the size of the preview here. Let's move this in. There you go. Now it's fading out. There you go. We got the max. I feel like I could shrink it so that the animation for the text would be a little bit more faster. There you go, something like that. Okay, so the and, might want to adjust the and. What is it called again? Tracking? Line spacing? Yeah. Let's bring this up a little more. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Maybe I could slant that. Let me see. See how it looks when it's slanted. Here we go. So this is how you slant it. And max. Then I get to reposition again. Grinch and max. Yeah, I think somewhere right behind this H would make sense. There you go. Let's see how that looks. And max. Oh my gosh. It's still moving. Oh, that's because I think, yeah, there was a keyframe that was like over here. All right. You know what? To make it more lively, I'm gonna delete this first keyframe and just make it like this. All right. Let's see how this looks now. Yeah, it still moves a little bit, so that's good. I like it though. Yeah. All right. I think that's how we're gonna have it. So I think this is all set. I'm gonna save this for now. Looking at the time, we got 2:42. I don't know if we have time to do another video. Uh, Let me check here. Hmm. I guess I'll just maybe start. I'll just do like a starter for that other one, which is the Hellraiser one. Um, so let's close this for now. Um, Wait, hold up. Before I do that, this is how it would look if I were to render it. So I would click on File, Render As, selecting the correct format and codec. I usually go for the Sony ABC and NBC. There's some other ones I could try. Like Main Concept would be another one, MPEG 2. This is where it gets more. Yeah, you gotta familiarize yourself with like all these different codecs, both audio and video. MP3, OGG, Vorbis is the more up-to-date audio that's used for mostly streaming, and it's compatible across different operating systems, mostly known to be used in like Linux, but it made its way over to Windows, and you know, I think it's compatible with Apple as well, Apple OS. The standard AAC for audio nowadays, I think that is the one. A-Track is another one. Black would be for lossless audio. And I think Wave would be another one. Yeah, Wave, old format, still being used today. Wow, apparently this one still has Windows Media Audio and video. Video for Windows, that's another one. But yeah, so once you have your preferred codec or video format, you go through the templates and or customize your own resolution. The default template for these are up here, 30 frames though. So if you do choose a template, make sure to go into customize templates and make sure all the details are correct. Some of the summarizations are shown right here, template info and stuff. But yeah, this is the default selection. And if you choose customize, this would be how it looked like. You can choose a different resolution if you plan to reduce the export resolution size and so on. Yeah, other options, frame rate and stuff, that's important. Make sure that's correct. 30 frames would be the default, and you can increase the bitrate, lower it if you want to, depending on where you want to upload the video at. Sometimes I would use this to re-encode like short videos for Discord. So this would be the manual way to do things. And otherwise, I think uploading through Discord, it would depend on your mobile operating system. Like if you're planning to upload through a phone, like maybe there's a clip of your cat or dog or pet that you want to upload just to show folks over on your Discord or Twitter or something, TikTok. There's always that limitations on the service that you're uploading to. And Discord, I think for free members, there's a max of 8 megabytes. So do adjust the settings to however you see fit that would, you know, decrease the size as much as possible. The longer the video, the bigger the file size, the more bitrate it is, the bigger file size. So I found that I forgot the length of the video, but like I want to say 2 minutes or 1 minute. Have the bitrate set to like 1 million bits per second for the bitrate. So by default 16 million here. Bring it down to like 4 and then change that to like a 1, or you can go to like 768,000, or like 500, half a million, whatever, to decrease the size for it. But it's always a preset to go back to the default 15, 16. So I'm cancel out that. But yeah, then press OK once you're ready, and then name the file, set the location, and then render. And that's how you have it. There's options for the rendering. Render loop region only if you want. Make sure the region selection is to where you want it to be. But yeah, that's pretty much it. 60 frames. This is my own preset that I set for myself for these kind of videos, and I increased the bitrate to 20, so a little more than the default. 60 frames, and then you get the 720 resolution, custom frame size. Audio, make sure that the audio is checked to include the audio, and I set the audio format to AAC, and then 48 hertz, 48,000 hertz, bitrate 128. Don't really need much unless you're aiming for audio, and you can increase it if you want. I think well, 512 max for AAC. Stereo, of course. There's also surround sound. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Project, best to leave this at default, but you can also adjust it to best setting or whatever if you want. Play around the settings to see what fits. You can choose no video. That way it would just encode it to just the audio. And I'm not sure it would be in the same format, like MP4 format, with just the audio. File size would be a lot less though, except just no video. But yeah, for videos, make sure to include videos and so on. But yep, that's pretty much it. Press OK and then render. All right, let's close this up. Quick 10 minutes. I think I could probably lock it down to 3 hours. I can start a new project file, and then I'll try to get the Hellraiser one ready if I can. Let's open up the template again. This is the time-lapse template. Scroll down here so you can find the Hellraiser one. Here it is. So apparently I only have 2 files for this. I think it was just 2 files. Let me see. I'm gonna double check. First one being this one here. Yeah, this is the first stream for Hellraiser. And then we reach the end of that video. Let's check out the second one. Maybe start from there again. I think most of this session was adding all the pins to his head. And then signed it, upload it, and that was the end of this session. So yeah, it did take just the 2 sessions. So let's drag these in. Swapping over to the Project Media tab. That way we'd see what files are included in this project file. All right, so let's drag this in. Click yes on that. Cancel on the audio rendering. And I'm going to delete this audio track. Another thing is, when you're saving these project files, if you don't need the audio for that project file, make sure to delete the track for it, or else it would increase the size for the project file, which is like, a waste of space pretty much. All right, let me just scrabble through. Scribble it. All right, yeah, somewhere right. Yeah, somewhere right here. I think I'll cut that, drag it down, and I'll set a marker, marker 1. And then, let me see, get the end of this one here. So yeah, just like before, I like to cut off some parts where I don't need. And this is where most of the editing, like, taking out pieces of the main video, is going to take place in this first project file. And you want to get it at the original length, because once you reduce it later on, everything that's not edited will be intact with the video, and you kind of don't want that. And also the time code is in sync with the actual length of the drawing session, so it's important to keep that to the first project file. Okay, let's bring the second one. Oop. Cancel the audio rendering. Notice how it just overlaps. This is how it looks when it's overlapped. All right. Okay, so the second session picks up when I had this in preview. I think that's how I started that stream. Okay, so then it goes into edit mode. Curious to see how this would end up in time-lapse if I were to keep it like this, so to have a little preview. Yeah, there's a Pinhead from Hellraiser, original Pinhead, aka the Hell Priest. I think when I finally uploaded it, I put it as a Pinhead the Hell Priest, like making sure that was in there, in the text. I mean. Okay, so I guess I'll just yeah. I think right when I go into edit mode is where I want to cut it at. So split, delete that, drag it over, make sure it snaps, zooming in, make sure it's connected. Okay, so around here is when it gets a little too long. There's this big chunk of video left over. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back up and make sure this layer here, which is the time code, is extended even farther, because I think the max that I saved the template at was at like around 6 hours and 45, and both the stream sessions added together came out to be, let's see, like 10 hours. Wow. 10 hours and 30 minutes of drawing time. So I had to extend it out so that the layer above wouldn't look as it did. Because if I were to drag this shorter, the contrast goes down, or whichever effect that I had this set at. So let's bring this back out so that it matches. Keeps it more balanced. There you go. Zoom in, make sure it's correct to the T. There you go. I think that should do it. Oh, I forgot about the that part. Let's go back down. Cut that text out. Oh wow, so that was the upload, okay. All right, I gotta really zoom in, huh? All right. Okay, so before this part here, I'm gonna mark it. Unless I want to get the signature in, let me see. Oh, there you go, there's the signature. So I think I want to mark it somewhere just before it. There you go. Enter. And then After the upload, I want to get this part here out. The new Hellraiser film is fantastic, by the way, if you haven't seen it. It's on Hulu. Can't wait till they make more. I think they're planning a TV series for HBO Max. All right, let's bring this back down. Region to project region. And there you go, that's our first project file for Hellraiser 1. Save as. Might have to make a new folder. Hellraiser. Pinhead. Hellraise. I think I should add a date to that, the drawing date and stuff. I'll probably do it later. So there you go, project A. And then I go back in, import media. There it is. So yeah, same process again. This time, yeah, disable. The project should be 60 frames now. Wait, how did it end up being 20 frames? Huh. Okay, well, now it's gonna be 60 frames. All right, shrink this up. And then get the markers down again. Then make sure, yep. Make sure that's correct. Just have one there. There you go, that's good. All right, I'm gonna save that. Save as. Okay, as a B. Oh yeah, let's make sure the, oh yeah, I did do that. Yeah, disable, resample. But yeah. Man, sadly the audio's no longer coming through for the music, I mean. Let's see if I can import one more time. This would be for the C, I think. Resample. Wait, I'm supposed to cut the end here. Split. And then I'll shrink this part here. Drag it down. There we go, project. I'm going to import the audio. So the tune I made for this was the based on the Hellraiser theme song. Oh, look how short that is. So we got the drawing footage all the way down to 40 minutes. And we're only like about, what, Project C in. And there's the theme song. It's like a short 2-minute cover of the Hellraiser theme. Yeah. I don't know if that's playing, but playing it through the through Vegas, but I'm not sure it was like coming out through the OBS plugin due to the crash I think we just had. So that might have caused it. Or otherwise I would have to maybe play the desktop, enable the desktop audio to play it. So let me see if I can do that. Hopefully it doesn't double. All right, play it again. Unless it's not playing. Yeah, for some reason it's not playing through the desktop for some. Yeah, I don't know. Something's not right over on OBS end. Huh. Well, so much for that. Okay. I guess I'll just disable it. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why it's not sounding over on OBS for some reason. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to play the tune for a little bit, but ultimately I would save the audio, adding the audio at the end. So on the last project file. Okay, so this one looks fine. Double check again. Save. So yeah. Yeah, normally the process would be a little bit faster. That is if I'm not explaining each step and stuff. Wait, what? Go back to that folder. Hellraiser, C, there you go. But yeah, once you get more used to it, you become more accustomed to using the program and stuff. Oh, what? I was still browsing for the images? Let me see. Okay. Huh. Well, at least as long as it's on this page here, this scene. Oh, I didn't get to set the whatchamacallits. Um, the markers. Here we go. Marker there. Okay. Yeah, that's where I want to have it. Oh, okay. So I select to view. Well, let me see. I want to try and edit that out. I could probably also go back to project A and then edit it out. That way it would, I would go through each of the project files after that so that it would be saved in that fashion. Make sure each part is fixed, but I could probably just do it from here. I mean, if we're this far, might as well. Yeah, kind of want to get this, and then yeah, that's the other Pirates of the Dark Water. I don't know if I have that set as a time lapse, but I feel like I should. Someday I'll definitely go back to that footage and get that rendered. But I would have to make the music for that. The theme song is pretty epic for that show, the old show. So it'll probably take me a while to get that music down. Make sure these are connected. Get another marker in there. Project. Save. Now I can import for project D. All right, here we go. Shrink it up again. Bring it down to 10 minutes. Is that 10 minutes? 10.5. Wow, 10:45. And the video itself is like 10 hours. 10 hours and 30 minutes. That's how long it took to draw that. We spent like 10 and a half hours. Yeah. I think most of the time was spent on the adding all the each and every pins on his head. All right. Let's get more markers in. I feel like I shouldn't have sped out this part here. But it's okay, let me see. As long as it's at a noticeable speed, like a readable speed, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I think that's pretty much as close as I want to get it to. All right, make sure this is disabled. All right, get it all one piece. Save this one as D. And then after that would be the E, and the E should be able to shrink further down to 2 minutes. The further I go, the more errorsome the project file would be. So it's good to maybe also render it from this point here when it's like 10 minutes length, 10 minutes or 20 minutes length. The longer it is, the longer it would take to render it, and so on. So let's close that. Import it one more time. Actually, I think I should probably bring up the other template outro. There you go. Oh, wait, so this is how, okay, all right, so let me see, import the other one. I didn't get to show this. So this would be the other way to do it. So I could import a D1 again. So now I have two of those two project files to make use of. So this is that D1, and I could decrease the size of this to whatever limits. Wait, is it 2 minutes? Oh man, I feel like I might have to do another layer or another project, because right now the wait, what? Okay, I see. So I can't shrink it down any further because it's at the max amount, and it seems to end at 239, which is close to where I want it to be, but not quite there yet. So this might end up being like an F. Get rid of the that project file before it takes up a lot of space. Double check on this. Disable. Okay, so that has a signature. Let's add our markers. On your marks, get set. Okay. Save this one as E. Close that. Import again. So we have the E. And then, wait. Let's make sure the resampling is not there. So from here I can go, there you go, something like that. Whoop. I'll just leave that open for now. I'm going to import that other thing, the other template. And what I didn't get to show last time, but I did mention it. There you go, the outro text and stuff. So make sure all the text and stuff are set. Otherwise, you can still adjust it through here. Apparently this still had the audio track, so I'm going to delete that track. But yeah, this is that same outro template that had the drawn in scribblet text. So I can cut that out. I just got to make note of when it starts to fade, because that's where I want to, if I plan to replace a text, I could add new text and then time it to the same time as I set for this one here. But basically replacing that with the new style of text. Or I could make use of this if I choose to. Maybe update the old template to have a different look. And then there's the, the logo and stuff, socials at the end. So what I can do is I can just split, move that to the end. So yeah, this would be the other way to do it if I don't want to work within the other template, this template. But yeah, another safe way to do it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then from here I can add the music, import Hellraiser. Oh, I have a bass version. I wish I can play this. I don't think let me see. I sometimes use VLC to play the music, but let me see if I can play it. Actually, yeah, I'll use VLC. Let me see if it picks up the audio. Lower down the volume a bit. Yeah, I don't think that's sounding. for some reason it's not sounding. Maybe because it's playing the slideshow's audio. Oh, I don't think the slideshow audio is even audible right now. I don't know. It's like the sound is not working properly now. But yeah, there's like a bass, like a booty bass version of the Hellraiser theme. If you can't hear it. But yeah, let's import the audio. Then yep, put it in. This should end around 2 minutes, so somewhere around here is where I want to have it at. So I can probably decrease the size, shrink it up a little more, and so on, and then add the credits, my socials. But yeah, I don't know why I have it set all the way to the back there. I feel like I should have just like kept it to where the template maximized at or ended at, and that will determine the where I want the video to end. So it was just before the 2-minute mark, like somewhere around here. If I would adjust it with the arrows, it'll be 1 minute 59 and 29, 59.29, and then if I press right again, it'll jump to 2 minutes 0.04. So kind of want to get it like just underneath it. Let me zoom in here and readjust this. There you go, somewhere around there. That's where I want to get it to end at. And same with the music. Let's see how it starts. Okay, it starts directly at the first second. Probably fade this out for the audio. Maybe add the volume envelopes. Whoop, didn't mean to double click there. Let's get that to fade out. And then maybe I'll drag it down a little tiny bit so that the video won't start with that too abruptly. Yeah, somewhere around there. Give it like a 0.5 seconds to start. But yeah, I think this is a good time to call it. Yeah, this is pretty much how I do my videos with the time lapse. But yeah, karaoke is a totally different process. I would like to maybe go back to editing that someday, but depends on the song and stuff. And I'm not sure if I want to do another one anytime soon. I feel like doing the time-lapse art is a good process because it gets done a lot quicker. Whereas karaoke videos, I have to go by each of the lines that you sing and then write the lyrics down and then editing the masking for each of the words that scroll by and stuff, and also making the beat for it, instrumentals and stuff. It's quite a long process. But even art is a long process too. So either way. All right, so I'm gonna save this. It's gonna be an F. But yeah, there you go. We got Hellraiser. We got the Grinch. So I'll likely render out that Grinch one first, and then I'll have it uploaded to all the places. And yeah, likely before Christmas though. We'll see. Yeah. So this I don't know. I don't know if I want to do more of these kind of videos. I feel like it's more of like a once in a while sort of thing. Maybe once a year. I don't know. Or if I feel like it, if there's like nothing else. Otherwise, I'd probably rather be broadcasting like months on or something. Anyways, yeah, that's a little behind the scenes look at how we edit these videos. It's just been a while since I've done one of these. Alright. Um, yeah. Everything went mostly fine, except with the couple crashes that we had with Vegas. And somehow I think it must have affected the audio capture. So, yeah, I'll have to look into that. Anyways, thanks all for joining. Uh, this is more like the nerdy techie side of things. But yeah, I don't know when if I would do another one of these. So I'm gonna take off for now. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your night. And if I don't see you, have a wonderful holiday. Get some rest, stay warm, stay safe, and spend some time with family, friends. Watch some movies, play some video games, and perhaps I'll see you next year. So, yeah. All right. Taking off for now. Catch you on the next one. Later.